And away we go!
What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the HVAC Overtime show, as you guys call it, as all the cool kids call it. So real quick, let's get this stuff out of the way. If you guys aren't a member of our Facebook group, go over to Facebook and find us, and then become a member, so you can hang out in the Facebook group with all of us and look at all the cool stuff that we post. Connect with us on Instagram. Hit that like button. I already hit it twice. And also, don't forget to email us all your cool pictures from the week. I think this week we got a couple cool ones. We got some interesting stuff coming up from you guys, from you viewers out there. Last but not least, let me say hi to our number one fan, Randy Ravioli. I see you there.
Ravioli.
Randy Ravioli. Hey, Luke, if you're listening, if you can bark twice for me, I'd appreciate it. And Ted wants us to talk about boilers. I don't think we're going to talk about boilers tonight, Ted. Say, Ted, appreciate Ted being here. He's our moderator for tonight. So how you guys been? You guys healthy?
Still healthy, still kicking it.
Yeah, nothing crazy going on?
Nothing crazy. This week I was busy, thank God. There was a couple clients that they just want their crap done. You know what I mean? They don't care what's going on. They have the money, they want to spend it, they want their crap done. So we're lucky on that side. But other than that, it might slow down. We don't know, but we'll take it one day at a time, 1 week at a time, and see what happens.
You know, the only crazy thing that's been going on here is I've been noticing a lot more people wearing face masks. And so now I've started to wear a face mask. Only, I don't know. I think it's sort of like a mob mentality. You're like, yeah, I do think the this COVID-19 is bad, and I definitely don't want to get it, of course. But as more people are wearing masks now, I'm like, well, now I got to wear a mask. So now at work, I got like my beard all squished up in my face and a mask on. It's real dumb looking.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, yeah, you got to shave that.
I know.
Get it to fit properly. I think one guy told me, it's like, yeah, it's not working very good because you didn't shave. I'm like, well, I think what I'll do is I'm just going to take a bald cap and then cut out a mouth hole right over my beard,
On Instagram, I don't know if you've seen, there's a couple of guys that made some nice ones, that say HVAC on them and stuff. But
yeah, was it Jose's sheet metal?
Jose, I think Crew does that, HVAC Crew or somebody. A couple guys.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, they did look pretty sharp, man. They're like almost like a full half face looking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was real nice. I'd like to get me one of those.
Absolutely. But it's good that everybody's still isolated and stay away from each other. Even my customers, I don't know about you guys, but I go to people's houses and they're staying away, which is good, right?
Staying away from you.
Well, yeah, we're staying away from each other, talking from our distance, and try to keep it minimal, right?
You like pull out your tape measure and be like, sorry, that's about 4.5 feet, bud.
Draw a line. Don't
Back
pass
it
this line.
Back it up.
Yeah. There's one guy, we're having a conversation in his office, and I was gonna sit down. He's like, my wife is always there. She's like the accountant. Sit over here. Nobody sits there. I'm like, okay.
Oh,
no problem.
did he want you to sit over there because it was further away, or?
No, because his wife doesn't sit there. This is, I guess, people come in, they talk to him, whatever. His regular clients. They're like, yeah, don't sit there. My wife sits there all the time. Okay, I understand.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. So what's going on in Chicagoland, Adam?
I think I'm in the 14-day incubation period.
Are you?
Maybe.
Are you getting sick, or were you exposed to somebody who was sick?
I don't know. I'm just paranoid.
I just kind of hope that I already had it, because back in December I was kind of sick for a minute there, and I'm hoping I just had like a light version of it, and now I have the antibodies.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Question for you guys, another change of topic, because we're always hearing about this corona.
That's
even
true.
even guys in the chat. The other day, my helper asked me, because we were on the roof one time, and this week, and he asked me, we've seen the top of a compressor and a receiver in a unit rusty, and it's like almost like they were wearing a hat. What do you think that is? Do you think that is just from acid rain, or do you think there is some kind of chemical imbalance because maybe they're overcharged or somewhat?
Or it could be the top of the compressor could be sweating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or the receiver is sweating.
Yeah.
But why? Because I'm thinking, why just on certain units? Like, there's a lot of units. Okay, I deal with our double walled, door panels, whatever. Okay, fine, they're more isolated, but it's not all units that you see that. It's only there's certain or particular type. You know what I mean?
You should have checked the charge on it and verified.
Well, I wasn't working on that unit. I was just looking at it. But
walking by.
Yeah, I was just looking at it. I wanted to see what's up, but I didn't bother. But yeah, even a couple in the past with me, like I don't see too many of them, but you do see the odd one. And why is that? You know what I mean? So maybe you're right. It could be sweating. It could be, I don't know. I was thinking maybe it could be improper charge. Who knows? I don't know. Weird.
I'd go with sweating, most likely.
Yeah.
Sweating because of improper charge?
Sorry, what'd you say?
What brand is it?
The brand, I'm not sure. It was a cooler, but the brand, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Good story, Joe.
Could be just sweating from improper charge.
Yeah, I was just wondering, like it could be any brand, because there's in the past I've dealt with many brands and I've seen it, but the odd one, so it's so hard to even pinpoint. It could have been like a handful, so you don't see it often. So pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. So you guys do anything else cool this week?
Not really anything in particular cool, but
My week was just kind of lame. I didn't really do anything cool. I think the highlight of my week is I found a nickel behind a cooler, and then I got to see an explosion-proof cooler, and that's about it. Did a little bit of hot side work. I drove 2 hours to a commercial kitchen to look at a commercial range, because they said it was shooting flames out of the top where the burners were.
Mm-hmm.
And this place has sort of a history. So going there, I knew there wasn't really a problem. It's one of those places, I'm sure you've had these customers where no matter what you do or say, they just, in their mind, there's always something wrong with the piece of equipment. Mm-hmm. And that's what they did. Yeah, that's what this situation is. I get out there and the flames are perfectly fine. They're just they're shooting up there. They're super high. I'm like, it's just a simple oven. It's a gas oven. It's just a valve. You turn it high or low. And like, can you adjust? I'm like, no, it's a non-adjustable gas valve. Like, I can order you 6 new ones if you'd like, but it's not going to change. I verified gas pressure. That's all fine.
It's funny you say that, because there was a couple of times in the kitchen on the hot side, customers almost make you second guess yourself when they're like that. You know what I mean? Well, is it like that? Like, it's hard to verify. Like they kept on questioning. Like, yeah, it's an open flame. Does it need a regular? Does a second regular? Does it need step down? I'm like, no. But then you're thinking ahead, oh my god. Oh my god.
I was on one today that a landlord that he's got a ton of properties I deal with. It was a commercial property, and this lady called in, and it's not her. She's just rented a second space in the building, so nobody's in there yet. And she said that it was completely filled with gas. There was a very bad gas leak, and the flue is blocked, and it was spilling carbon monoxide. The gas company said that. Okay, so I go there, and they had a tag on it, and it didn't say anything about a gas leak. And I'm like, are you sure you smelled gas? And she's like, oh, it was so overpowering. Like, I thought the building was going to blow up. And there was nothing on the tag about the gas leak. And so they left the gas onto the building. They just shut off the valve at the water heater. And the water heater's in this little closet. So I'm like looking at it. I'm spraying bubbles on the pipes and that. And I'm like a little bit nervous because she said how overpowering it was, you know? So then I go to light the pilot. I'm like in this closet ready to like army roll out of the freaking thing. And then I light the burner, you know, I turn it off a pilot onto on, and I turn it on, and I turn it off real quick. I'm like ready to jump because she said something was wrong with the valve. They said something was wrong with the valve. So I was waiting for like, you know, like when you turn it on, the output it was cracked or, you know, on the burner or whatever. And I finally leave it on. I would have left it on earlier, but I'm in a tiny little closet. You don't have anywhere to run, right? So I turn it on. The thing's burning fine. I check everything with bubbles. No gas leak. You know, no gas leak anywhere. I call the gas company, and they say, oh, yeah, he wrote down in here that there was a gas leak at the Union, and he fixed it. Okay. Wow. So I'm looking for the leak. There's no leak. And then she said the flue pipe was spilling carbon monoxide, what he said. And it was a natural draft water heater in a closet of an apartment building. Okay. And I just check with the lighter, the draft. No draft whatsoever. Okay. And it starts spilling out. So I go up into the ceiling. I look. They took a B vent and they ran it 10, 15 feet straight across the top of this drop ceiling, right out the sidewall. And then I went around to the back, and they tried to stub it up like a foot and put a cap on it, but the elbow turned down. So it was
like a rain catcher then?
Pretty much. And obviously, even if it was turned up correctly, it wouldn't have vent right.
No, it still wouldn't work.
So,
wow. That's how people die right there.
Yeah.
How long was it like that? Do you know?
I mean, it was a 2003 water heater. So it's got to been, you know, had to have been for quite some time.
Wow.
So, who knows?
Did the lady seem a little bit off? Like any twitches, or did she talk funny?
No, the whole place was empty. They didn't move in there yet. She just happened to go in there to check on something, and there was like a smell of gas. So I'm sitting there like an idiot for 20 minutes trying to find a gas leak that doesn't exist.
Yeah. I wonder how many previous tenants had, you know, small amounts of CO poisoning. You know?
Good question.
People are probably like hallucinating. Like, yeah, this place is haunted, and they're freaking out and stuff.
Yeah.
Literally, they know they're just hallucinating because they're not getting proper oxygen levels to their brain.
You don't need all those brain cells. They're optional. You have plenty when you're born.
And they wake up and they can't figure out why, but they got their shoes on the wrong feet. They can't do math anymore.
Different color socks.
Like, I don't know how to get to work today.
I love this house. I love it.
Yeah,
I love this place.
Other than that, Adam, were you working on that weird, crazy house that you were talking about the other day?
I was doing a lot of planning for it, and it kind of turned into be a menagerie.
Is this the one, just to make sure I'm on the same page, is this the one that has the 28 thermostats?
Yes.
Oh, man. What do you have to do to that place?
Well, I'm actually working on the coach house right now, but I didn't work inside the house this week. I have to go back and do a little bit more work inside the house next week. Inside the house, he is upgrading his snow melt control to the Wi-Fi weather prediction snow melt control. So if a snowstorm is coming, it will start warming up the sidewalk before the snow ever hits the ground. And then also he has a bad thermostat. So
it's like that dude's like got so much money. He's like, I just have nowhere to spend this money. I just need to find extra stuff to do.
Yeah.
With all my piles of money.
Yeah.
Shannon made a good point in chat. Did that have CO detectors at the house?
It wasn't a house.
That's a good point. If it is a rental.
It was a like a storefront, little storefront. No carbon monoxide detectors.
We were talking something we were talking about something, guys, and I wanted to see if we could bring it up. It was a question, but I don't know who it was in the email, and it's a good question because a lot of guys, and maybe we could throw it out in chat because a lot of guys seems like they're sometimes not understand, but it's weird. You don't see it often, especially if you don't deal with them. It was about the condensate on a unit. Which unit was that?
Oh, are we talking about the mini split one?
Yeah. It's a good question because a lot of guys are not aware of it, right?
Yeah. So I believe now you got to find it, Joe. You caught me off guard here.
Oh, it's okay.
Messed
I
up
don't
the
know.
whole flow. We had everything planned out down to a T.
You know what? I didn't even know you had a picture of it, so that's awesome.
And also, just so you guys know, you guys that are watching, this is an entirely scripted show.
Yeah.
Everything we're saying is scripted. None of this is just off the cuff.
Speaking about.
Throw out the question first.
What was the question? There wasn't a question. It was a comment.
Okay. Comment? Okay, go. Whatever, comment.
So we got this. We had this picture sent an email, and this slim duct air handler there was a 2-zone, and I guess the control wires were switched. So one thermostat was controlling the wrong unit, right? Mm-hmm. And he made a comment about the drain. And one thing on a lot of these air handlers is, he said they went on the top port for the drain. So a lot of these air handlers actually have an internal lift pump pre-wired in from the factory. At least the ones that I've done, Fujitsu, they have them in there. They have the bottom drain port. So as the pan fills up, the lift pump will pump. I think you can get, I don't remember what it is, 12, 18-inch rise out of the pipe. So they could actually pipe the PVC straight up and it would have, lifted it a little bit. It's not like a condensate pump where it would go forever. But if you want to disable that and use the bottom drain, they recommend unplugging the lift pump from the circuit board. Mm-hmm. Yes. So that's the end of my story, Joe.
Is it being shown? Because I can't see it. Do you have a picture of it or no?
It's been on the screen for like 20 minutes.
Oh,
yeah, it's been here for like the entire time we've been talking.
No, sorry. Sorry.
And see, I wasn't sure. I don't know anything about these slim duct designs, but I wasn't sure if there was a like a secondary pump or auxiliary pump in there or something.
There might be. I mean, I don't know about every different manufacturer. I'm not sure who makes that one. They all they look like they're all made in the same factory. If you look at the different brands, Daikin, Fujitsu, whatever. So, but I know for a fact Fujitsu has a lift pump built in, and it's pre-wired from the factory.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
So what is the layout here? And again, I have no idea what I'm looking at. So right now, obviously, that PVC is our condensate drain, right?
Yes.
And the insulated lines going into it. So that's our refrigeration lines.
Right.
So what's that white thing underneath there? Directly underneath that.
It looks
is
like
that
they're using
just
styrofoam or something to support
what
the
that
unit.
is? Yeah, like styrofoam blocks to support it.
Yeah.
Maybe to deaden the sound a little bit.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I did one second floor and third floor with all slim duct units except the large room on the third floor. I did a ceiling cassette, and each one of them, this is like a custom, it's custom now. It's a very old, antiquated, like kind of a historic house, and they were all in the knee wall. So I hung them all from the ceiling on, from unistrut and threaded rod, and then I put a drain pan underneath all of them, hooked up a wet switch in each one of them.
Yep.
Safety first, right? Right.
Absolutely, I would put. I hate putting units like that. I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. Putting units in the attic? To be honest with you, is scary to begin with. In the house, just scary. I don't know.
Safety first.
Yeah. And I guess it's not too bad, but like if you're doing something like a water to water coil or condenser coil in the attic, it's freaky. And I had that situation that there was a leak, and thank God it was near a closet because it just destroyed everything.
Yeah, Shannon Knight says that thing's not going to work. The gas is shut off.
That's true.
What else we got here? people?
Yeah, sure.
Are we going to move
Why-
forward with this?
Yeah, why not?
Let's jump into some pictures.
So
Why
there
not?
was a cool one. Who sent this in? Joshua sent this in here. We have a. I should have hit it before I started talking about it. But anyways, one of his friends was doing a little bit of yard work, picking weeds, digging a little bit, and he hit something hard. It was like a little bit of in the ground. And he says, "What is that?" And he starts digging it out, and to what he found.
Is it an old Civil War musket?
Close.
Nope.
It was an old Civil War
It's an old Civil War compressor.
Oh, wow.
Awesome. Imagine finding that in your backyard when you're gardening. You're trying to
Oh my
plant your
God.
petunias.
That was just in his yard?
Yeah.
Like just
Buried.
there, huh?
Buried.
I wonder what kind of seed you got to put in the ground to grow that.
I wonder what would pollinate that to produce more.
That's true. I think Autobots pollinate that, and that comes out.
Yeah.
Yummy plants that are planted beside it. Vegetable garden.
That's a good. I don't know. What do you think? $300 core charge. Take that back to your local supply house, and you probably get some
Jackpot.
cash out of that thing, man.
Yeah.
$300-$400 at least, depending on. I don't know if they can rebuild that one though.
What if they did? That would be awesome.
How old do you think that is? I've never seen that sort of design. I don't see a whole lot of semi-hermetic compressors, but
Didn't Joe get all hot and bothered when he started talking about semi-hermetic compressors last week? He starts like stuttering. And he was like jumping up and down. And,
Oh, because there were
praise the Lord.
two semi-hermetics and they're carriers, and it was old, and I couldn't believe it.
yeah,
And
he was super stoked about that.
I would love to see Joe's reaction if he was digging in his backyard and he found
oh
one of these.
my god,
My God, what are the chances?
oh my god.
His voice would have switched right over to Steve Lav's voice, and he would have did a backflip.
Oh jeez. Like,
Come here, Molly. Come here, Molly.
Miss Molly, I found a
Oh.
compressor.
oh,
I found a compressor. And it's a Leica because it's got no manifold
Ports?
thing on it.
Yeah.
Ports on it.
Well,
wow.
cool.
That is nuts.
That was
That's
a cool
that's
one.
nuts. And we know it's Weaver too, so we know
Yeah.
who it is who did that. It's crazy.
So we have one here from, what is this one? Craig Egan. Craig Egan.
Egon,
Which
like-
is a nice little contactor that he said it was kind of starting and stopping, and then he said it was stopping and running backwards and this and that, and he pulled the cover off and he saw. Look at the connection, Joe. What do you see? Joe?
I don't see it yet.
Oh, you gotta pretend like you see it.
Oh, but
Ju- just go like, ooh,
oh,
oh my.
He
He's
still
your best
doesn't see it. Internet takes a long time to travel to Canada, I think.
That's true.
It's like Western Union. Is that what they use telegraphs for?
the Western Union. What is it, anyways?
You
Why
gotta
don't you
s-
explain to
They
me?
got a string on a solo cup.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Fork connectors, but they're round.
fork
It's
connectors.
kind of like a fork connector. And they took
Instead
that
of-
and they stuck one prong partially
it.
into the lug in the contactor.
Like, you know,
I see it, yeah.
the amazing part about that is I mean, all you have to do is cut that wire. You don't have to put anything on there. You just cut it and jam it in that lug and then tighten it down. Or, I mean, and I've never done this, but you can just take that fork and just squish them together and then jam that in the lug. But I mean, that's just super lazy.
Yeah.
A little hokey.
I mean, I'm surprised that didn't just overheat and melt because you're barely getting any connection with that little tiny, like, I mean, I guess you're getting a little bit of connection from both sides of the fork, but, you know, that fork is rated to have a majority of the surface touching whatever it's connecting to, not just the tips of each side of the fork, you know?
Well, I think what they did was they didn't want to alter, you know, the factory specs of the unit. And they're like, yeah, just because we're using this aftermarket contactor doesn't mean we have to go butchering these wires and all.
Mm-hmm.
No? You're not buying it?
No, that's a lot of forethought. I think a guy like that doesn't have any forethought, afterthought, or present thought. He's just like, whatever, jam it in there.
The old,
I have no idea how electricity works.
the only Ramalamba jam.
Yeah, it was probably like a Goodman factory authorized technician that went out there.
You know, it's funny, actually. That's a good question. If you guys and other guys in the chat, what do you prefer? Do you prefer, like Bill was saying, cutting the wire, sticking the screw in there, or sticking the wire in there, or putting spade connectors and using the spade connects?
In that situation, I would have just cut the wire and jammed it in the lug.
Yeah,
Sure.
definitely. You ever notice on, even if it's like a new, like if it's factory wires on like a unit that's maybe 5-10 years old or whatever, as soon as you pull the spades off, it's like they got corroded or something, or the hot and cold made them loose. So they're like, all the spades are loose. If you try to, you pretty much have to. I usually end up changing half the spades when you start pulling something apart, because they're all loose.
See, I don't know. I only change them if I tighten them down first. And the only time I'll change a spade is if I go to tighten it down, it cracks or something.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I just give them a quick little pinch.
I do that too, but usually you'll have one that will, you'll have one that will crack. And if I have one that will crack, I'm just changing the other ones that are looking janky, That's my opinion. But opinions are like this big sucker on the screen. What's that, Joe?
Some kind of motor.
Ooh,
Ren sent this in. I'm assuming this is the one he posted on Facebook that he had to. Did he say water heater? I can't remember what he said on Facebook. He was moving something that weighed 400 pounds up 4 flights, or 300 pounds up 3 flights.
Yeah, that
or
was a
4
water
flights.
heater. Him and his partner were doing it.
So he was working on this. He sent this over with no context. Is he here? What is it? What is it?
No, he's not here. That looks like a heavy, heavy motor, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be 200 pounds.
Is it a blower motor?
What is it for?
No idea.
I'm glad we showed this so we could all express our disbelief and not know what it is.
Our confusion.
It looks like he's got a lathe set up there. It looks like it's a motor for a lathe. I don't know.
It's for an elevator.
It's got to be. Well, no, because Ren is he's a pipe fitter, so it's got to have something to do with water and pipes and pumping stuff somewhere. So I'm gonna say it's probably a motor for a pump, and it maybe broke the shaft off or something.
It looks shiny. Anyway.
Good call. It could be for like a water loop on a condominium or something.
Yeah, it's got to be something like that.
Yep.
I don't know nothing about that sort of thing, but that orange cone looking piece in the foreground, background there, looks like it probably goes to a pump or something.
Oh, is that like, you can't tell if that's together or not? Anyways.
No.
Yeah, who knows?
Great. Good thing I showed it, right?
Delete it.
Just delete it. Thanks, Ryan, for nothing.
Yeah, delete it. Block his email.
Oh my gosh.
Kick him out of the group, even though he's a founding member of the group.
I think half of the people are founding members.
Yeah.
I'm not even a founding member of the group.
No, you came in late, like Joe. Joe is on Facebook now. Everybody, he's totally incognito. Nobody knows who he is.
Strictly business.
What's your screen name, Joe?
OT Joe.
OT Joe.
Yes.
The lamest name.
I know.
OT Joe. Overtime Joe. Nobody's going to figure that out.
All right, so this one was sent in by Matthew Clemens.
Cool.
See, now that looks like it's up to code. It's about like 4 inches away from the edge.
That's a fun one to work on, right?
Are you kidding me, man?
He said it was wired wrong, wired incorrectly from day one, and he ended up having to change the compressor and a couple other components on it.
Who sent that in?
And then you need a parachute to work on that thing.
Yeah.
Matthew Clemens sent it in.
You need to dangle down from a helicopter and work on it.
Dingle dangle.
Dangle from a helicopter.
Dangles. Did he say exactly like what the issue was with the wiring?
He said it was wired incorrectly.
Yeah, but I want to know how. What was the problem? Give us more details.
Yes. If you're here, tell us. What was wired incorrectly that caused all these catastrophic failures?
Yeah, that would suck.
I want to say it was the headmaster, because I like saying the word
correctly.
Headmaster. I like saying it.
Yeah, I'm sure the headmaster was probably had improper phase going to the headmaster.
So let's jump to OT Joe.
I I haven't decided. Oh,
You
okay, go
haven't
ahead.
decided what?
Oh no, if I'm going to I'm not gonna bother adding people because it's not really my. I don't have Facebook, so I'm not gonna just
So,
add.
guys, on that note, please tonight join our group and send Joe a friend request. It would be greatly appreciated.
I just hate I don't know. Ugh. I'm there in spirit. Oh, okay, that's a unit. It's one of my only units, geothermal, that I helped the mechanical company with. Um, and you know what? Has no issues. I was there the other day. That's where I took this picture. There has been no issues with it. And he's using it as a system like you want to use it, Adam. He has his domestic on it, and he has his what's it called, air heat.
Nice.
That's,
How many
and
tons?
a carrier makes it.
What size was that?
That's a 5-ton. And he has 2 5-tons in his house.
It's a nice duct on the side, man. They didn't skimp on the return.
No, which is awesome, right?
Right.
I didn't even see that get put in when I did it.
See, now that return is one of those returns like Bruce Willis could actually crawl through that.
And he has his lighter. He has his lighter in there, and he's.
Mhm.
But the coil sits right up there, vertical, right? The way that system is set up. And you know, there's another company I wanted to tell you about. It's called what is it? Nordic, and it's Canadian based, and they make nice units too, Adam. And they use the same thing. They use heat pump, water to air, water to water, water to air, and they are neat systems.
Water to Kool-Aid.
Neat.
Kool-Aid glycol.
So
Yeah.
Matthew commented that it was, where did it go now? Everything's moving so quickly. I can't keep my pace. Inlet temp sensor has wired to outlet, and outlet was wired to inlet. On that last picture parachuter we looked at.
What happened? Say that again. Sorry, I missed that.
We're past that.
Okay.
The inlet was wired to the outlet, and the outlet was wired to the inlet. But I wonder if that just means the inlet to the evaporator or the inlet to, what that is. It's probably the inlet and outlet of the evaporator.
Gotcha.
But I'm not sure how that would. It depends what kind of control system was on there, but I'm not real sure how that would kill a compressor. But I guess if there was a control system that was looking at those numbers and somehow adjusting things, or if it had a EEV on there, maybe, who knows?
Speaking of, yeah, actually, Dave, you're right. Nordic, yeah, they're a pretty good company, Canadian based. Yeah, it does look like a Climate Master, and I'm not sure what happens if Carrier and Climate Master have a deal. I don't know how that's the inside of it. And it's so quiet. It's so quiet. This machine, it's amazing.
What's that brown thing up in the upper right-hand
Pump,
corner?
the water pump side.
So, Joe, you said you finished this job for somebody else.
Well,
what did you actually do?
We assisted. We actually put the unit in and did the hookup.
Did you flush it and everything?
Sorry?
Did you flush it?
No, we didn't flush it. No, I wasn't. No.
Okay. Moving forward.
Yeah. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice setup. Anyways.
Well, what do we got here, Bill? Consumer.
Ooh, my. Oh, wow. That's nice. That's cool.
What is it?
I don't know. I can't see a picture. I was just making noises.
You gotta
Yeah, it's
gotta
sorry. I
pretend.
just wanted to say, I see somebody in chat say do superhero pump for domestic. Yes, but I think if I'm correct, they only do I don't know 10%, very minimal for domestic, maybe 5 to 10% heat transfer to domestic cooler.
Okay, well, now you're just ruining my time to talk, Joe, with your
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, no, about that.
nonsensical hot water talk.
Go ahead.
So this little cooler here, this was actually, it's at the Consumers Energy Research Lab. Now, apparently it's used for some sort of liquid propane testing. I was talking to some sort of science guy when I was there, and the reason I got that service call is because it wasn't cooling down fast enough. And so he got on the phone with tech support, and tech support was like, "Hey, do you feel air coming out of the evaporator?" And he's like, "No, there's no air." And he's like, "All right, well, you probably have a bad fan or a bad door switch, right?" So they called me up. I go there, and turns out there's no air moving because it's a static evaporator and a static condenser, so there's no air movement whatsoever. Again, because it's they're testing liquid propane or something in there, so they can't have any movement of air or anything that's going to possibly create a spark, which would be a motor. So what you're looking at right there is the compressor, and it's an explosion-proof compressor. Now I've never seen one like this before. I was half tempted to just say like, all right, well, I got to check your starting components, and then just start tearing that thing apart to see, just to see inside there, to see how the start components are laid out. So like right there, now that's just black pipe welded to the side of the compressor. How would you ever test? And again, I don't know what it looks like on the inside, but how would you? I don't understand. How would you test that? I guess unless the terminals for the compressor are somehow extended out. You know what I mean? Extended out away from the body of the compressor.
You gotta take the black end cap off.
Well, yeah, obviously. But like when you do that, do you have to stick your meter leads like a half foot into that pipe and try to get to the compressor terminals?
I don't know. That's one of those pieces of equipment that you got a pucker factor if you're working on it for your first time, I guess, right? Unless you know what you're doing.
See, that cooler is basically the size of a residential cooler. And oh, by the way, I didn't hear anything you said, Adam.
Cool.
I was being a jerk. I was just waiting for you to stop talking so I could talk.
Nice.
So that cooler is like $5,000. Simple, just a simple cooler, nothing fancy, not stainless, size of a like a residential fridge. But $5,000 to get a fancy looking compressor like that. Long story short, there wasn't anything wrong with it. It's just the scientist that was there didn't realize it was a static evaporator, and that it just takes up to 6 hours to reach temperature. But I just thought it was neat because I've never seen one of those before.
That is neat. Absolutely.
Chris Stefanovich from HVACR Videos down there, he says he wants to cut that thing open. I'm with you, man. I wanted to condemn that whole thing, but yeah, you need a new one because everything's broken on it. Just so I can take it, cut it open.
When you called tech support and you said I don't feel any airflow, the fan's not running, they're like, that's good. Is that what happened?
No. See, I just took the cover off the evaporator. I'm like, yeah, you don't have a fan motor. That's why you don't feel any air movement. It's a static evaporator.
They forgot to put the fan motor in this thing from the factory.
Yeah,
no wonder you got a service call on it.
Let me get my Dremel. I'll cut a hole and put a fan in there for you.
That's crazy.
Well, that's nice.
Where was this bill? Sorry.
It's at a research lab at Consumers Energy.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys have Consumers Energy in Canada.
What do they do? What do they
We do.
consume?
They're energy. They're a gas, if it's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, gas and electricity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure they changed their name. I could be wrong. Maybe Dave could vouch, but I thought they changed names. I'm going to look it up if I can. Like they're another branch or something, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's probably a different branch. I know we got DTE, Consumers, a couple different other companies. It sort of varies by state.
Gotcha.
Some places have like a local electric company or whatever, but that was the coolest thing I've done in months. It was almost cool enough where I was going to film it until I realized like this is a super boring call because there's nothing really wrong with it.
Oops.
Like, yeah, I just don't feel any air. Like, and then I pull the cover off. I'm like, yeah, you're not ever going to feel air. Ever, bro.
I screwed something up.
What happened?
Uh-oh.
I did the wrong thing on the wrong buttons. Susie's pointing it out.
So what happened?
Whoops. I don't know. You have to go back and watch it.
Oh, the applause.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that.
Whoops.
So nobody got to hear my entire story.
Well, you were just kind of rambling anyway, so it's all right.
Oh my God, poor Bill.
Everything I say sounds like I'm rambling because everything I say sounds exactly the same.
So I can't hit that button. I hit it too many times. They must have heard applause. Take that freaking applause out of there.
Yeah, what do we have applause for anyway?
I don't know.
It's like like on the Johnny Carson show.
A live studio audience.
Yeah, we don't want to look like what are the shows now that they're filming them from their house?
Oh,
they're like
all the late night shows,
and it's like not funny because nobody's laughing.
Mm-hmm.
So this was sent in by Steve Domansky, and he had a couple rubbing issues with the wires on the copper terminals, and he said everything would be fine and the unit would run, and then as soon as the pipe started to sweat, pop the breaker. Boom.
Sure.
Crazy, eh? What do you think about that?
Wow.
Is that... I wonder what that wire goes to.
That is weird. Eh?
Nobody knows. The compressor, I bet.
Just some mystery wire.
Context.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Don't hit that button again. Don't hit the button again.
Let's hear some applause for that.
I'll turn this one on. There's no applause on this one. Look at that. We got the Refrigeration Technologies logo on there because...
Cool.
Why
they
do
are
we...
cool.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I didn't see the Refrigeration Technology logo all night.
I forgot. That's what I meant to do. I got to make a mental note of which buttons to push because I'm a bad button pusher.
We're supposed to be professionals at this, whatever you call it. I like how it's just like taking over Joe's screen too.
Well, Joe's like not doing anything, and he's got a bare wall behind him. So
That's true. Yeah,
I could move it over if you like.
that logo's like just F it. I'm taking up all of Joe's space. That's cool though.
I could point at it.
Do it.
This way, right? I think it's this way.
Pretend like you're holding on to it or something, or you're supporting it with your hand. Like, here, this is our Refrigeration Technologies.
Okay, hold on.
Speaking of which, should we give away? What's that?
Susie said she needs audio of me reading bedtime stories.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do that next week.
I'm gonna send my buttons to one of you two to push. You show how.
Good. I'm good.
Buttons.
Huh?
I don't push buttons.
There you go. Refrigeration technology.
Oh yeah, here's something cool. Not to cut you off, Joe, but Weaver Maintenance here is talking about a video that Ralph was sharing about a condenser blowing up, killing one of the technicians, and that's something that's I'm still sort of wrapping my head around. But I actually talked to Ralph about that, and it's called the diesel combustion effect.
Mm-hmm.
And in that video, what they did is they pumped down that condenser for that mini split. And for one, you're not supposed to do that. But what they think happened is that there was a little bit of oxygen that gets mixed in there.
Yeah.
From leaking flare nuts. That's why flares are such a pivotal point on those mini splits, apparently.
Yeah.
But once you get a little bit of oxygen in those systems and you pump it down and compress everything into that condenser, and I forget exactly how they explain this, and I found some literature. And Weaver Maintenance, if you're listening, shoot me an email at curioushvacguy@gmail.com. I might still have the literature that I read about that. And somehow the oil, it was somehow...
I just don't see like how it would have blown up with that big of
it's almost like those videos that Yamo showed us, you know, like obviously we know oxygen and oil don't mix, right? And they try to pressurize with oxygen and kaboom.
Oh yeah, that one where, the one that Yamo showed us.
Yeah,
that was much worse than that one.
Yeah,
that dude, he was definitely dead. And Yamo had pictures of the guy. And the funny thing is, which it's not funny, but the guy's dead. The thing is blown up, and his helper is standing next to him taking pictures of him being dead. He's like, "Yeah, see, I didn't like you this whole time.
That's what,
now I'm posting this crap on Facebook.
Promotion.
That's what they do in Mexico."
Oh no, God rest his soul, poor guy.
Because there's no 911. You just leave him there till the coyotes drag him away
on the roof. And they wait till they find him by calling another HVAC company because they're like, this other guy didn't fix it. He just never came down. I don't know what happened.
He just quit working, but his truck's still there.
Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. I hope nobody has that practice.
We should not be laughing about this. This is very serious.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
It's Mexico though, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm hoping he didn't die. To be honest,
he did.
You think
definitely
so?
dead, dude? Yeah. There's blood everywhere, and he was. You know, the dude had a photo shoot taking pictures of this guy in the blown up unit, and you see him laying in all the pictures. He was definitely dead.
What a way to go. Mm-hmm. Anyways,
not the best way to go, but it's a way.
It damn sure is.
It sure is a way to go.
Well, other than that,
I would have rolled him over and took his wallet. That's what I would have done.
No, you wouldn't have.
He's not gonna need it. You can put it back. Just take the money out of it.
Times are rough, I guess, during this time.
Dude's dead. I mean, I'd do that right now, even if I, just saying.
You have too much of a heart to do that.
You guys are thinking it. I know you guys are all thinking it. You guys are thinking the same thing.
Guy in the chat saying he was very dead.
He was very dead. HVAC Heatmaster. I mean, when your insides are pushed all the way to your backside and then forced out of your body,
No, they weren't.
they were close.
Just his arm was severed. Okay.
It was crazy that like every
Trying to be
panel,
optimistic
every
here.
panel was blowing off the unit in separate directions. You know, it was just like the compressor, kind of there still, in a sense.
And you know, it's the same thing with brazing. You know, guys have a tendency. I know a couple guys I've seen doing it. You know, they just open the oxygen a quarter turn on the brazing tank. You know, thinking, okay, whatever, it's open, that's it. But no, you're not supposed to, right?
That's quite a brazen statement you have there, Joe.
Right.
How are you supposed to do it, Joe?
It's supposed to be all the way open. That's how I was taught from the very beginning.
The
Oxygen
is
all the way
supposed to be
open and acetylene quarter, or like a little quarter, you could say.
Well, it probably depends too on what you have your regulator set at, right?
No,
It
your regulator is
doesn't?
gonna. I think your regulator is gonna set whatever you're gonna set it at, because you have that two-step regulator, right? That's what it's there for, to save your ass. And your oxygen has to be all the way open. It should be all the way open.
What kind of pressure are you pushing out of your oxygen tank, though?
Yeah, that's what
You
the
can
regulator is for, is to regulate the flow, right?
Yeah, from the tank to the thing. Yeah, you can have it from. Let's say, it depends how big you're using, what tip you're using, but you can go from 10 to 12, 6
Yeah,
to 12.
I got about 10, and then my acetylene set at about 4. I always do my acetylene first, though.
Yeah, that's what you got to do, right? Acetylene, then oxygen, and then you got to do it reverse as you're turning it off. Oxygen
That's
off
right.
first, then acetylene.
That's right. And you
No,
usually have a what are they called for? You don't get the back.
The little floaties.
Yeah, no, and they have a. I can't remember now what it's called. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, and that's a big mistake. You shouldn't be having a quarter turn. But
You know what's
Whatever.
funny? Speaking, while we're on this, and then we can give away a shirt or two, right?
go ahead.
So when I was younger, I always learned on an air acetylene, right? Like a turbo torch, straight acetylene. And I always wanted to learn an oxygen acetylene. And I found a super old set regulator, the whole setup with like a nice little carrying case and everything at my dad's shop. And I'm like, whose was this? And he's like, that was your grandpa's. He's like, I've never used it. My grandpa's been dead for, I don't know, 35, 34 years, something like that. And, well, it wasn't at that time. It was less at the time because I was younger. But anyway, I'm wanting to get it going. So I replaced the actual gauges on it because they were kind of broken and stuff like that on the regulators. And I put them on, I got a new jug of oxygen, new jug of acetylene. And I looked it up, how to use it. Like, what do I want to do, what the pressures are and that. So I turned on the acetylene. I lit it. And then maybe I didn't light it. I just turned on the pressure so it goes to the hose, right? And then I turned on the pressure of the oxygen, and the hose was so old that it freaking blew the hose.
Oh,
And
wow.
it was shooting oxygen out of the tank. And the other two guys that worked for my dad, we were in the shop. They just started running out of the building.
Oh my gosh.
So none of your guys are the jump on a grade type of guys.
They ran away and I ran towards it and I went and turned it off real quick. I'm like, hey man, fight or flight, huh?
Oh
So-
my gosh.
Yeah.
You got to put that down in their yearly review.
Yeah, they're I don't know. They're dangerous. It's a vessel, and you got to be aware when you're working with them. That's for sure.
Like, remember that time you ran away with your lady shoes?
Yeah.
You have to hit it with your purse.
Yeah, you big girl. No offense to girls.
No, Susie.
Yeah.
Susie, Jessica.
So yeah. So you guys want to give away some shirts or something?
Do it. Yeah, let's do
Let's
it.
try. See if anyone
Before we
wants
have to get out of here.
What do you think about
Science.
pulling some questions out of my favorite science fiction novel?
Go for it.
What do you guys think?
Questions? Yeah, you could do it. Yeah, I don't. Doesn't matter to me.
What chapter you guys want to do?
Which book? Commercial refrigeration? What do you?
Yeah. Commercial refrigeration for air conditioning technicians. I was just reading it earlier today, for all those people who didn't see my picture.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Did you learn anything?
I didn't read it very long.
So you didn't learn anything.
Not much, no. Not as much as you'd think I would.
What was the question you were gonna ask?
I don't know. I haven't got that far yet, Joe.
Oh, jeez.
Why don't you just take your horses and calm them down a little bit?
2, 4.
They're calm. They're eating right now. Nice T-shirts there, bud.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Still learning how to use this.
What are we using?
Or could they could just call in
That's
and say
what
hi.
I put the phone number on the screen. So
Yeah.
somebody tell us your story. Does anyone know anybody with coronavirus? I'd like to know that.
I want to shake that
That's
hand.
like the what was it? Mitch Hedberg. He had a bit where he said, "I want to do. I don't remember if it was STD or HIV test. I do the roundabout HIV test."
The roundabout.
Yeah.
the roundabout.
He asks all of his friends, "Do you know anyone with HIV?" No, I don't. He's like, "Well, you know me, so I'm good."
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, yeah, man. Is this like the number where you call and you turn in the guy that's like selling the drugs, man, and you can get a reward?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is totally us.
Okay, man, 'cause I want to turn in Billy, man. He told me that chicken wouldn't get a fly high, man. I could have get it to my little sister and she couldn't even get off on it.
You shouldn't be giving that to your little sister, for one.
Now, that's the dude right there, man. That dude right there with the grill on and the glasses.
And for two, you probably smoked it backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You
you
have to-
supposed to smoke it, man. You didn't tell me that, man.
You got to cut it with baby laxative first.
This might be Ted. Is it? It kind of sounds like Ted. No.
No, it's not.
No.
Shit, man.
Totally
I think I
not
got
dead.
the wrong thing, man.
There's two people with glasses.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Did you just hang up on him?
No, he
I
hung
think
up
he
on
hung
us.
up on us.
Oh, did he? Wow, it must have been Ted. He must have figured it out.
I don't think it was Ted. He I think he just wanted to say hi. He's a big fan. He just wanted to talk to
It
us.
said
you know what I mean?
unknown, so it's a
Yeah.
mystery. The mystery will continue.
It's maybe a number you shouldn't have picked
Interesting.
up if it said unknown.
Why? Those are the interesting callers. That dude sounded like Cheech and Chung, dude. You know?
True, I guess so.
Up in smoke, we can get Yamo on here and he could start answering questions again, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
He did want to call.
good times. Well, I got a question that might be kind of interesting for people that either do refrigeration or don't do refrigeration.
Go for it.
You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, pay attention here. So we're talking about commercial refrigeration.
Go.
Commercial refrigeration. Within how many degrees of the design box temperature can you check evaporator superheat? And this is right out of the commercial refrigeration book.
By
I didn't make the
Dick
question up.
Wurs. By Dick
Yep.
Wurs.
So you have three choices. Any temperature is good for checking superheat. Oh, by the way, you have to call in if you want to win and give us the answer. Any temperature is good for checking superheat, or B, 25 degrees, or C, 5 degrees.
Question.
If Chris calls, I'm not picking it up.
No, this is not valid.
Just hang up on Chris if he calls. Or just pick up the phone and they yell really loud into it and then hang up. No takers, huh?
You can't answer with the numbers. You have to answer with the letters.
Mm-hmm.
A, B, or C.
Heat master plus or minus 5.
Interesting. Some people got that right already. Some people who I wouldn't think would get it right.
Well, I don't know the answer to that.
Not Chris. Chris got it totally wrong.
We got Smarties in here, okay?
I got Smarties in my van, actually. My daughter gave them to me.
I hate Smarties. They've gone downhill.
Yeah, they're not good. It's like eating dried pieces of deodorant. I don't really like it. It's not
What do you
good
mean they've
stuff.
gone downhill? They've been the same freaking crappy candy
That's true.
for the
That's true.
last like 30 years or more.
They've been the same since like 1918.
No. They have some kind of aftertaste to them now. It's just
Dude, they're
doesn't
nasty. They've always been nasty.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember getting
I don't
them for like Halloween as a kid. I'm like, what am I going to do with these?
Really? You know, at some point I thought they were actually good, like when I was really like younger, and then I taste them like, I don't know, years back. I'm like, man, these are nasty. They're like, ugh, they taste like cardboard.
Yeah.
That's what they taste like. Cardboard.
Things from like my childhood that I think taste good, and I taste them now, and it's the same thing. Like, oh, it's just gross now.
I like Good and
Yeah.
Plenty. Do you guys eat Good and Plenty?
No, I don't know what that is.
It's
Not
like a
ring a bell.
licorice style candy with a candy coating over the licorice.
Different layers, or
Black licorice style. You know, Jägermeister.
Black licorice. I
What?
don't know. I don't know.
Never mind.
Yeah, I'm not sold on that.
You don't like black licorice? The
I
blacker
think I
the
do.
licorice, the sweeter the.
It's been a long time since I had it though.
there's a famous black licorice liqueur that we use for like coffee that we put in coffees.
Liqueur?
Cool. Yeah, and it tastes like black
Liqueur.
licorice.
Liqueur?
Liquor.
Liquor.
It's
Yeah, it's
liqueur,
called-
but it's like a sweet liquor, I guess, because it tastes like
I
the
can
black
kind of
licorice.
speak Spanish or Canadian. What am I talking? Like, how do you say it, Joe?
Liquor.
Like it's a liqueur. Oh my
Liqueur.
god! You
That's
guys ever
cool.
heard of that term?
¿Dónde está tu licor, señor?
We translate. We got that one. We knew what he was talking about.
Okay. All right.
Liquor. That's how fancy people say it.
That's what I go when I'm ordering my Jaeger bombs at the bar. I say, "Can
Yep.
I have the Jaeger liqueur?"
Hey,
Liqueur.
hey.
Liqueur. Liqueur. Liqueur.
This is what would happen if we went to like some fancy restaurant and we're like trying to pronounce all these French terms or whatever that's on their menu. What's your finest wine that goes with that steak?
Liqueur, please.
Well,
Are you?
Is the phone broken or does nobody just want to
No
call
one wants
it?
to call in.
I mean,
tell us.
I
Just send it in
there's
the
a
chat.
good possibility
jerks.
that it's broken
Hang up.
because I don't know how
Hang
to
up
use
on
it
'em.
very well.
Hang up on
Oh,
everybody.
do not disturb is. Hold on, I'm an idiot.
Oh
I'm
my
an idiot,
gosh.
guys. Oh man, I had do
Yeah,
not
see-
disturb on, guys.
She HVAC PTR tried to call in.
Well, call in again. I just turned off do not disturb.
We probably had 75 people calling.
I don't know about that, but
That's funny.
it's working now.
See, Ted agrees with me about these Smarties things. They do taste like chalk.
Yeah, chalk and cardboard.
Pizza Hut.
Mhm.
Hello. Yeah, to serve on, guys. HVACR tried to call. Hello.
Yeah. This is us from the future.
Hello.
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 Hi.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah,
Almost
chalk
there.
and,
Turn down your YouTube.
hi.
Turn up your YouTube.
I got
What is
through. It looks like.
I feel like this is like the Matrix.
What is going on here? Yeah.
There you go.
Sorry, this way.
Hi.
Okay.
Is your YouTube up?
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
What's up, man?
Are you in the middle of a crowded
And
elevator?
this is Heatmaster.
How's you,
Oh,
Master?
hey.
Hey, what's up, my man?
There's a crocodile screaming in the background.
Let me turn this down. Holy shit! Like echoing big time.
How's your week
Sorry
there,
about all
bud?
the hellos.
That's all right.
I didn't know you can get Wi-Fi inside of caves.
So I'm gonna answer C.
Okay, go for it.
What was the question again?
Oh my gosh. The temperature to read heat
Oh, that's right, the superheat thingamajig. Oh crap! Let me get my book back.
Am I right or what?
Was C? What was number C?
C was 5 degrees.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes,
then.
yes.
Yeah, 5 is correct.
All right. You
According
won.
to Mr. Words, who wrote the book.
You get a shirt, a koozie, a lanyard, a sticker.
I wear extra
Sticker.
large, by the way.
And one of
Sticker.
these, you get one of these too.
Yeah.
A thumbs up.
Can you email your? I might already have it, but email it to our email address, which is
Right on the screen.
it
Nope.
I think it's over to HVAC Overtime, right?
at gmail.com.
At Gmail?
Yeah.
Yes.
Name, address, and shirt size. And
You got it, man.
no, I send this by Pony Express, so it's gonna take a while.
That's all right. As long as it gets there faster than when Gil sends stuff, that would be fine.
All right, very good.
All right, man.
All right.
Keep
Thanks,
it real.
buddy.
Good show. Talk to
Thank
you
you.
later.
Stay
Thanks,
clean.
man.
All right,
Stay
lady.
clean.
Stay clean. Toodles.
Toodle. Stay clean.
Toodle.
Wash your hands.
That was the loudest caller ever.
Yeah, it's just
something
the
was just boom in the background. Right?
I like how he called in, and then like after 25 minutes of hello, he's like, wait.
There's an echo.
Let me turn this down. I'm sorry, my son's behind me doing a burnout with my Camaro.
And my ear is right beside the rear
hold on.
end. Oh, jeez.
Good thing this is not going on a podcast.
Yeah. Good thing we're not live.
Oh, man.
What do you say?
Master, we love you, but that was funny.
Want to do it again?
Yeah, I think it's still
Can we
on.
recreate this magic?
He's laughing. Sure.
Who's laughing?
We could take one more caller before we have to go.
Let's see. Let's find a good one here. Let's go. What do you think? How you feeling about TXVs, huh?
Go for it.
TXVs. What's TXV stand for, Joe?
Thermostatic expansion valve.
You rambled that off like
the question's not for me. Ask the people in the chat, all right?
Well, that's not that question.
Oh, sorry?
That's not that question.
I know, but ask the Ace. You never know. Some people might not know.
Just killing time until I got to the question part of this chapter. Chapter number 5. All right, let's see here. Blah blah blah. That's boring. Got to come up with some sort of in hindsight, we should probably just
prepare
figure
for this.
Beforehand. Yeah,
You should
prepare
probably
for
get
it.
Stavanovich on here to ask a question out of the book. He memorized the book.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. We should ask Christian. What's his name again? Christian Stavanovich.
Yeah.
Have him come on here.
He could be a monthly fixture.
Oh,
right?
here's a good one. This is a good one.
All right.
Chris will appreciate this question.
Yeah.
All right. Here's a question. We got the phone number posted.
No, we got the email posted. Stand by.
We got the ringer turned on.
There you go. Phone number posted.
Now, this is talking about thermal expansion valves. Why are externally equalized valves needed on some evaporators? A, because of the high pressure drop in the distributors. B, because of the number of coil fins. C, because of the suction header at the evaporator outlet. Call now. I'm going to keep the book open so I don't forget what's going on.
Cool.
And if you do call, make sure you hold your phone away from screeching noises.
Your son doing a burnout with the Camaro.
Kids doing burnouts.
Yeah. Well,
Anybody skinning live chickens?
do chickens really run around with their heads cut off?
They do.
You know, I told that to my son the other day. He's like, that's not true. I'm like, there's only one way to prove it.
I've
These
seen
guys,
it in Mexico.
Really?
these guys are smarties, but yeah, call in. We should have turned off the chat. But anyways, go ahead.
Hello?
I put a ringtone, man.
Yeah.
Wait, stand by. Hello?
Hello.
Why is it still ringing?
That's a good question.
I'm not sure.
Do not disturb is on. All right,
1
stop.
second.
Caller, can you
How do
help
I-
us figure out this phone?
How do I end the other call?
I'm not sure.
All right, hold on.
Just hang tight.
And now, no, yeah, wait till this guy gets off.
Oh my.
That was fun.
Okay.
Caller, can you hear us now?
I can. How are you guys?
How are you, buddy?
Man, that was tough for a second there, dude. I was on pins and needles, man. Like, are we gonna get this done or what?
I wonder how many callers we could take at one time. We should have a party line.
I know, right? We'll just get the phone lines loaded up, and we can try to figure out how to shut the rest of the ringers off when everybody else is calling in.
Hey, I'm loving the show, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who's calling anyways?
This is Ryan, Hughesman HVAC.
Oh,
cool.
nice.
Hughes, man. Hey, how's your Cub Cadet running?
It's good. Good. I'm laid
I-
off right now, so I got plenty of free time.
Man, I think I might be buying me one of those. That's a sharp-looking tractor, man.
You need a tractor in Detroit, Bill?
No, I don't live in Detroit.
Did you guys get a little cold spell there? Was it yesterday? That little snow?
COLD. That's how you spell cold.
Cold? How did I spell it?
You said cold spell, so I spelled it.
You wise guy. Anyways, yeah, we had it just came out of nowhere. Just very faint. A little mist of snow. Anyways,
All right. So I
I'm
don't know what the point of
going
that
with A.
was.
just curious.
Just right out of left field.
Right field.
I love lamp.
A.
Spell lamp.
I'm sorry. What was that, Huseman? Did he say the answer and I missed it?
I said I'm going with option A.
That is correct because of the high pressure drop in the distributors. Upwards of 45 psi can be dropped across those distributors. It's almost like a second metering device. So that's why they have to have it externally equalized. Nice.
All right, some good questions. I like them because
Yay.
they're not
Good
so hard.
job.
Very good
Not
questions, guy. Great show.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
man.
Yeah.
Send
Don't
in all
forget
your
to,
info.
Yeah, email us your address and Adam will
Will
send
do.
something out about this time next year.
You might be the wrong. It might
good.
be a different shirt size by then, but you'll
Oh
get
my
it.
god.
All right.
Oh,
By the time I got
Appreciate
the shirt, I had gained 75 pounds.
I've been home so long for this layoff.
Mhm.
Oh my god. Can I
I'll send it
upgrade?
out. Don't worry. It's all coming. I keep track.
Cool.
All right.
The best-
Keep it up, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, bud. Appreciate it.
But the best thing about our audience is that whenever they get stuff, they're so surprised by it. I'm like, what is this box? And then they open it. I'm like, oh, I remember that.
I remember once upon a time.
Was it
on
Jessica?
Overtime Show.
Was it Jessica that said she went so long? It was my fault at first, and she was asking, "Where's the package? Where's the package?" I'm like, "Calm down, it's coming. Give it time." And she said it was sitting at the post office so long they almost sent it back.
Oh,
She didn't give her regular address because she thinks we're serial killers. And actually,
Yeah, you should. Yeah, I mean,
that's the same thing Bill did to us.
yeah.
He said,
Which is fine. We
you wanna-
understand.
you want me-
Whatever.
and since then, I've moved just to be sure that nobody has my address now.
That was a
Oh my
good
God.
story, right? But I said, Bill, give us a post office address for me to send something out. I'm like, what do you think? We're serial killers? He's like, all right, I guess I could trust you guys. Here's my home address. I'm like, well, I'm a serial killer. I'm coming to kill you right now. He's like, I knew it. Damn it.
Do it.
I knew it. Yep. And
that was funny.
I immediately hung up the phone. I'm like, well, now I got to get a rental truck and start moving. I called U-Haul. 2 guys in a truck came over.
Oh, you guys have 2 guys in a truck? 2 guys and a truck.
Yeah, you guys got
People
that.
who care.
You guys got that in Canada too, huh?
We do.
Damn.
Yeah. Anyways, let's wrap this up, man. It's been
Yeah,
over an hour.
I think they probably had enough overtime for this week, eh?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We didn't talk about COVID too much. You know what? I don't even want to say the word. I wish I could delete it, but
I forgot all about it.
It's hard to
I know.
you know. I'll tell you what I do every morning while we're wrapping this up. I'm sorry because I have to bring this up.
No, it's all
I
good.
look at the numbers every morning. I look at the numbers for Illinois and I look at the numbers for United States. And then
Yeah.
sometimes I look at Canada. I'm like, damn, Canada, we're beating you by so much. We're slaughtering you in the COVID-19
We're better
race.
than Canada.
you
the
guys
best
could
in the
take
world.
it. Take it. Take the championship away, please.
We're the best in the world at COVID.
And basketball.
Mm-hmm. And basketball. Definitely not math or science, though.
No.
No.
No, I don't know.
Not even close.
We're brother and sisters, okay?
Not even close. We still have people that think the world is flat.
True. But
Anyway,
we-
let's wrap this up, guys.
yeah, we
Let's
got
get
off
outta here.
topic for the COVID, which is happy. Got away from that and talked about HVAC, which is pretty cool.
And then now we're getting off topic by explaining how we got off topic.
And now we're gonna get off topic and say later.
Now we're going to get right back on topic.
We're off
Go for
topic
it.
on saying goodbye.
Hey,
Yeah.
I appreciate all you guys stopping in and hanging out with us for tonight. Stop by next week. We're gonna be here at the same time again next week. Probably talking about the same old random junk, whatever you guys want to talk about. But in the meantime, make sure you email us. Send us all your pictures because those do make our week. We do get super excited when we see your pictures come across the email. Go to the Facebook group, hang out with us, put some stuff in there if you want. Join up if you want. I don't care. We let anybody in there, really. Seriously, anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Even Joe's in there.
Yeah.
So anyway, with that, guys, we'll see you next week right here on the Overtime channel.
New hot mic. Where's Yamo? Yeah, I've just seen Yamo in chat.
There he is.
I thought he was gonna call in. He wanted to call in. See what's going on in Mexico. Yeah.
I kind of like that end part, just pulling questions out of my ass out of that book.
Yeah.
That might be a good thing. We'll have to try that again next week.
That was awesome.
You know,
It's
even
good.
though I'm sort of getting on board with this, not preparing for anything. I think that's going to be our niche.
I know, right?
The only thing we prepare for is just getting the pictures loaded. You know, all the stuff that Adam does. Like, that's all we prepare for. Everything else is just tough, man.
Why is it me that has to prepare?
Hey, we
What?
do it together. You're the one running the OBS, all right? We come
Yeah.
in and give you emotional support when you're doing it.
Now
Yeah,
I
'cause
know.
that stuff we can't do off the cuff.
No.
Now I know what Zach felt like.
Oh my God.
That's
Yeah,
why.
right.
That's why he fired us.